Hey guys, what's going on? Third Street Reactions here. We're back with Shane.
Zach.
We're back with Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 12. Dude, last time, man.
Yeah, Gabby and Falco ended up at Sasha's dad's place. They were arguing, actually, in the wilderness about where they should go next, and that little girl stumbles upon them.
Yeah.
It turns out they're orphans, I believe, that he's raising on his ranch.
Yeah, he's just a good man.
Yeah. Actually, Gabby noticed he had a Southern Marleyan accent.
Yeah.
So...
I can't believe you remember that, but yeah. So you interpret that as, and I don't know the answer to it, that maybe, like, there's something different about him? About why he's gets...
Yeah, maybe he's from, like, directly from Marley, or...
Yeah, like his people, whenever they got there, it's because they've been there for 100 years, or a little more than 100 years, like they were descended from there. It's funny because he's got like a southern drawl, and then she said southern. Is it like that in most places? Well, they go south, you know...
There's like a hick version of however they talk.
Like I know Jen and Lost, they call him like this fucking hick. He's like this fisherman.
Who was it?
Jen from South Korea,
Yeah.
him and son. You know, real talk.
I was thinking of Sawyer because he's got that kind of country boy.
Yeah, he does. I love
accent,
Sawyer. Dude.
drawl.
He's such a badass. Yeah.
Told you I'd kill you.
Yeah. Hey, Freckles.
What did he call that guy? The fat man?
Jumbotron.
No, but he had a nickname.
He called him all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, what was his... Like, he's credited by that name. It's like Mr. something.
He calls Hurley like a fat nickname consistently?
Not Hurley. The fucking... The guy that he shoots, the fat guy, that's like one of the others.
Oh, I can't remember. It's
like Mr. Smiles or Mr. Smiley or some shit. I don't know. He's always got a fucking grin on his face, that really big...
Yeah, I remember that. And that's the one he said.
He tells him, I'll kill you, and then later on he fucking shoots him out of nowhere, and then he's like...
How many people are these people on this island kill him before they got to this island?
I don't know. There's a lot of people on this island where they shouldn't be anyway.
Well, you like in Smallville...
There.
Yeah, like the Rand's also in Gen V. I think you like him in it. This show, I think, real talk. We're hearing Gabby try to condemn this girl because of what her ancestors did, and that's going on in the world now.
Gabby could hardly eat at their table when they offered dinner.
Yeah, she was shocked.
And then
because she was so damn brainwashed by the agenda of her enemies. Yeah,
and
that's going on in the world now, and it's ridiculous.
It's unfortunately ridiculous. I mean, we have the benefit of living in a kind of a bubble where we're at, where most of the people here all think the same way.
Yeah.
And it's either hyper conservative.
Yeah.
I don't know. There is some hyper liberal stuff.
Yeah, I think it brings.
I feel like it's a little bit in between because most people I talk to are just kind of like, leave me the fuck alone. You know, we know what we believe.
Yeah.
We think these people are stupid, but we just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
You know, no one's enforcing their fucking will on anybody.
Well, now it's because if you know, it's like when you get asked about it, it's almost like, you know, it's almost like offensive. Like, why are you asking? So we can have this argument, you know, and you just don't want to have that. This little girl was right. Why should you look at me any differently because of what my ancestors did? And
she had nothing to do with it. Neither did her mom, who was eaten alive.
Yeah.
And it turns out that she was the daughter of that woman that Sasha found.
And Gabby's thinking the way that some people think today nowadays. It's terrible. Yeah. But I actually like Gabby a lot as a character. She kind of represents the cycle. Like Aaron, she's like the new Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way, even though she was very militaristic before.
Yeah, Aaron was just some...
And Aaron also wasn't aware of the Marleyans. He just hated the fucking Titans.
No, yeah. Like, she grew up with the hatred, and then he grew up with the hatred because of what happened to him.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying
I agree with the extremism.
Yeah, they both grew up with like wanting to hate the other side without seeing what they went through.
Yeah.
But Gabby is now seeing with her eyes, like, hey, these people are just people. And like Aaron...
At a much younger age.
Yeah, and Aaron, one of the coolest things he says is, I've slept and ate with the enemy, and I realize you guys are just people, but I still got to kill you.
Yeah. Well, he kind of has that realization that Umberto had that final confrontation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I realize it now, but I still have to do this.
Yeah, he has to because of his mission, and like the glory, obviously his family will be set for life, and I think one of the coolest thing, and it's a little more nuanced because they don't have a ton of exposition on it, but that realization, it's always like a 2-minute scene, but like I think it's one of the coolest things is realizing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like Rana a lot more now as a character as he's developed.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just let me die?
He's one of the coolest characters.
Doesn't want anything to do with it anymore, and he keeps getting dragged back into it because he's Titan.
Yeah. If you guys are watching this, I've been taking Zach through, and now we both don't know what's going to happen because this is where I stopped. But before we jump in, guys, make sure you click on the link below, and it takes you to our Patreon. You can watch the reaction on there for free. You don't have to be a member, but if you want to be a member, we appreciate it. Let's jump in. Oh, Jesus. For something that was slow, I was very interested in
It was intriguing.
It was very intriguing. I'm slow personally, so I'm trying to follow everything still.
Sure you are, Shane.
I am.
I don't. I don't think you're slow.
I think I'm slower than most people. You have to tell me twice.
I know.
Yeah, you do. No, that. Come on.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, because you even say, when you talk to me, you have me do something. Okay, all right. You get next to me because you have to explain it to me, and you do it, and you do a good job.
That's how I do with anybody I have to explain things to. People I've shown things at work.
Well, I guess I didn't know that.
That's how I explain things.
No, because sometimes fucking your grandpa or your dad would say something. I'd look at you and you go, I just begin to
Yeah. Well, it's because I was doing it all the time with them. That was already new, and I knew you didn't know.
I just know I'm slower than some people, but I understand this.
I would go with less exposed.
I mean, I love Aaron's character. I just don't want him to turn into Hitler.
Well, I don't really see him being a Hitler right now.
No, it's right the opposite.
Now he's more like a Che Guevara.
Okay.
Saw Guerrera is based off of.
Oh, okay.
So he's kind of like that face on the fight.
Yeah, like this. They consider themselves freedom fighters.
Yeah, or like like a Bolshevik revolutionist or something.
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
very extreme.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an epic moment when he fucking did the thing with the coat. And he's like got jacked as shit. You know what I mean?
It was.
Yeah.
Throwing the robe thing on.
Yeah.
He's very messianic.
Yeah, he's adopted a tone that's completely different. These Jaegerists, that's how they view. I don't know if they view Zeke that way, but they view him that way.
Yeah, I have to wonder about that with Zeke. If his honest goal is ultimately the redemption of Eldians and their survival, or if he's got some other.
Yeah, it's hard for me to trust Zeke and get behind him. I kind of just want to pick a side.
Well, at this point, now it's kind of like fuck.
Like you betrayed your parents, and then you betrayed like these kids you grew up with and fought next to.
Yeah.
Which even if I don't agree with Marley, but have some self-respect, you know.
Yeah, what do you think about the what the hell's her name? It's not Pike. It's
Peak.
Peak.
Oh yeah, shit.
He's saying she's hot, but I mean, if the other guys were running a train on her, that she's a whore, and that kid makes her like a little less hot.
I don't think they're running a train on her. Okay, so Peak being there, I don't know. I mean, she's obviously recovered. I mean, I think they just recovered.
Well, they're trying to show obviously that they're there.
They got people there, or yeah, at least her.
But her and Pike and probably Rhina.
Yeah.
Are all there.
Jesus.
That's all they got left, right?
Yeah, and they want revenge now.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, she is not the kind of Titan that can just do any damage. She's just here. I think they're also trained like scouts. They can
she's a reconnaissance.
Yeah.
For her.
Yeah, they can do a bunch of things.
And maybe it's just her that's there, and she's just doing recon work, and the other ones are waiting out beyond the city or the walls.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, she can obviously, if she can sneak back outside of the wall, she can cover a lot of distance as a Titan. And
yeah, because that's literally what she does.
So right now, it's just the Jaw, the Armored, and the Cart Titan, right? That they have.
Yeah.
Because the Colossal, the Female, the Warhammer, the Attack Titan, the Beast Titan,
the Founder,
and the Founding Titan. Yeah, so there's 9.
Aaron's got 3 of them, right? Jesus.
So there's 9 altogether, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Aaron's got the Attack, the Founder, and the Warhammer.
Yeah.
And then Armin has the Colossal. Annie is enclosed in the fucking shit.
Yeah, but Zeke's, I think, I don't know. Like, I don't know whose side. I mean, the Jaegers they're obviously, I think Marley wants, Marley at least wants to get Zeke, and everyone on Paradis doesn't trust Zeke, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then the military's got its own fucking falafel going on there. With,
it's a big clusterfuck. How do they let it get this bad?
I think they're trying to find just other recruits to take Aaron's place and eat his ass. Like, they're already playing the same game, and
that is disturbing.
Yeah, they're fucking it up.
Well, I mean, like Aaron, it's just weird. I mean, I think they're doing it now. I mean, I guess they're thinking about now because they can't trust Aaron, and so they just want to jump to that. But I think they understand Aaron enough that he's willing to pass on the power after before he dies. So if Aaron just died, would his 3 powers just go to?
They'd probably separate.
Yeah, I think they would. Hopefully,
yeah,
because that'd be shitty if they wouldn't. That'd be a really bad thing.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I think they'd probably separate.
They could go to Paradis, or they could go to the Marley. Why would they just go to Marley? Because there's people on Paradis that...
Yeah, they could just be born with it.
Yeah. That's an inconvenient thing if you're the Marleyan military. I think about that.
Yeah, they exercise a lot of control in that situation.
There's got to be so you got to be God. It'd be mind bending. Like thinking like if I lose one of these motherfuckers, like our whole country, our history, everything would be fucked, and our enemy could get it.
Yeah.
I mean, Premier Zachary. Pixis talked about him wanting to die as a revolutionist. I'm sure he wouldn't want to die attached to the way he tortured people.
Yeah, I mean, but you think about that. I was thinking about it when we were watching this. Now it's fucking horrible to see on screen, but you imagine the people in our world that are surely in the kind of at the center of a lot of decisions that get a lot of people killed.
Yeah. And
a lot of people, left in, dire straits.
Yeah.
Let's say, to put it lightly. Could you imagine yourself? What would you do, or what punishment would you feel was? I mean, in this world, obviously, these people were letting people just be eaten and suffer. And
so it's kind of representative of a more. I mean, the farther you go back, the more atrocious people were. Mm-hmm. Generally.
It's pretty vicious, though. I feel like, to me, it'd be kind of like Cillian Murphy's moment in Peaky Blinders when he finally gets the guy that killed his wife.
Yeah.
And he wants to torture him, but he just can't because it's not who he is.
Yeah.
So fucking Tommy just shoots him.
Yeah.
Not Tommy, but is it Charlie? What's his older brother's name?
Arthur.
Yeah.
I love Arthur.
I do too.
He's a useful, I don't want to say idiot, but he's great. I love Arthur.
He's
a great character.
He's just like a broken man.
Broken man, can fight, beat up some kid. I don't even remember that.
He can fight.
No, he can fight. He beat down some kid by it.
He was boxing. He's killing all kinds of those kids, right? They kept bringing him there because he was just...
I thought he was beating him, but he accidentally killed one, and then he became more of a drunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because he's like 40, and this kid was like 17 or 18 or something. Yeah.
He had PTSD from the war.
Yeah.
And he was all fucked up, and they...
Yeah, so I guess I feel like in this type of world, like our justice system's supposed to be blind, and it's supposed to be civil. So we barely even execute anymore, unless you're a pedophile in Florida. They kill you.
Yeah, they finally brought that into law.
No matter what you think about that, I feel like that's a good thing.
It is.
Yeah, no matter how you feel about it.
It should really be discouraged.
Yeah, I feel like it should be something that's heavily discouraged in a way to where, like, hopefully no one has to die, but hopefully this makes it so no one does anymore.
Well, it should. Yeah, how can anybody argue with that? It's like, hey, just don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's also one of those things, like, and I'm not talking about Florida. I'm talking about, like, in a more civilized world, you would have a least barbaric punishment. So, like, an emotional punishment would be, I think, what Zachary does. It's an emotional punishment.
It is, but it goes farther than that, I think. But
well, no, I think it's because he's a little nuts.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, what would I do? Like, I know I would want to have an emotional punishment done for my enemies. Like, I know that. But I feel like I can admit that I should be
break their morale.
Yeah, I know I should be in charge of that stuff because I would want to do what he did, or maybe not that. It's a little disgusting.
So you want to exist in a time of some little more barbarity, where you can.
As long as it doesn't happen to me, and as long as.
Generally how it goes, but yeah. I mean,
as long as if I can fight by the sword and not have to be killed by it.
I guess you just have to, for brush Stannis' faults aside, but he's fair in his judgment.
He's one of the greatest characters in the show.
Yeah, well, Stephen Dillon really brought him to life, though, and made him cool.
He reminded me of Thrawn when, that Thrawn had that moment in Ahsoka. He had a Thrawn moment. He's like, we're doing it for you. For the Empire. Yeah. It's for the Empire, not me.
Yeah, it's...
It reminded me of like a Stannis moment.
I
guess what I'm thinking.
I know what it's called.
What I think what I think the punishment should be just be a simple execution.
Yeah,
and execution. I think as low as I go, in barbarism would probably be hanging or beheading, up to Iron Squad. I think the electric chair sounds like the worst idea.
That's pretty rough.
I think that to me that sounds like the worst idea. Lethal injection to me just sounds so terrible. To be strapped down and knowing it, I don't know.
Yeah, the impending death. Which I mean, it's the same way.
Just like sterile hospital room.
It's the same way though as with the electric chair. You're just waiting on them to turn it on.
I definitely would rather have a lethal injection in the electric chair.
Yeah, well, hanging.
I mean, the punishment could be relatively painful for a second, but I think I don't know, what he did was pretty barbaric.
Yeah, it's very barbaric.
If we're trying to say that, if we're trying to say we'll be civilized about it, then let's just kill them.
It's
not have a prolonged torture.
Well, you look back in medieval times in England where they fucking draw and quarter people.
Yeah, they put them in just like Iron Maidens, all this.
Yeah.
I think that's just some of the worst.
Pretty tortuous.
I feel like because that was a time in history when we were still barbaric. But
didn't they discover that Iron Maidens weren't really something they used back then? Like, wasn't that something that they?
Oh, I don't know. I
think they found out that it was something like a prop, or I can't remember, or it was popularized or something. in cinema.
I thought I heard that like it was used to like not kill people, but
torture them.
Like,
and that might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not positive.
But like that was probably the most barbaric time in history because it's like we were.
A hot chick died in Sleepy Hollow.
Don't tell me that.
You've seen Sleepy Hollow?
I don't remember anything about it. Yeah.
Well, it's not even that bad of a movie in terms of the horror aspect.
No, I just haven't seen it. I can't remember.
You've seen it?
No, I mean I haven't seen it in like since it came out. Like Corporal Culver's house.
This woman has huge knockers.
Oh, for real?
Like nice.
Does it show them?
What shows are in like
they're huge and nice.
In like the blossom, or not blossom. What the fuck do you call that thing? I don't know. The dress thing.
Yeah.
And anyway, her tits are pressed up in it.
Yeah.
They look phenomenal.
You know, there's like a short time period when they could be that big and that nice before they start to.
Well, obviously they're pushed up
in
the dress thing.
To gravity.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but they look really nice. And anyway,
I'll put a bump it up high on the list. You know, in terms of this, yeah, I feel like it needs to be something that's not barbaric, something that's not prolonged.
I just feel ultimately that I believe so much in karma.
Yeah.
That I feel like
you don't want to do something.
I wouldn't want there to come back to me somehow.
You don't want me to have shit in your mouth. Yeah.
So it's
me either.
All right, is it firing squad?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Can we talk about how weird Yelena is, man? A tall, weird woman.
Yeah, I have nothing against tall women because I've seen some hot tall women.
Oh. And yeah, I have nothing against those.
Yeah, so
tall, ugly ones. No, I'm just kidding.
But she's not presented as ugly
by
any means, but she's just got this crazy look.
I think the bowl cut in the eyes make it seem, she doesn't exactly. She was not. She could wear a beard.
So there's a woman that's getting a train run on her.
Tall?
No, it's unattractive.
That's very unattractive. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
I would say it's a joke. You make it think. I don't think she. I think there's probably rules about that. What the fuck was I going to say?
I don't know. The point is, Yelena.
But when she wore a beard, they thought she was a dude. No, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously she's in the military.
Yeah.
She's probably fit.
But there's fit girls that don't.
She's one of those kind of like it's like the, like the MMA fighters and shit that are women, the boxers that are women. I mean, some of them don't retain their feminine charm. After some point. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a feminine charm.
Yeah.
To something to the physique of a woman. And well, some of them just go beyond that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming because the way she's portrayed, she doesn't have the hips and shit like that. She's just a lot more manly looking.
I think what I dislike about her so much, also besides the crazy eyes, is I don't know, the whole conversation. It was so anime-ish. You know what I mean? Like they kept unveiling all these layers and motivations.
She's a zealot.
Yeah.
So she's a fucking zealot. Is what she is. She's an extremist.
I don't hate zealots like you. But she's pushing my buttons. I'm telling you right now. You hate him, but she's pushing my buttons.
she's a zealot, man.
I love Pixis. I love the voice actor, but sometimes he says stuff, and I know it's just one of those things I chalk up to Japanese anime.
Yeah, it's like goofy and dumb.
Yeah, it's like that's a dumb plan, but it's gonna work because it's a fucking cartoon. I know I'm not saying.
There's probably a layer to that. Like on the surface, we're gonna give up, and it's like. Oh.
Yeah.
But our leader died, man.
Yeah, like strategic. Yeah, I guess.
But he could be like, "We're gonna give up," but
strategically, we're giving up because we don't know who is all embedded in the military.
Yeah, on the face of this, like we're not. It's kind of like
Boomy.
Yeah, King Boomy. Where he's like, "I'm not going to do anything."
Yeah.
And he allows himself to be kept prisoner because he says, there's some ground, like neutral Jin or whatever the hell it's called.
I can't remember.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But that reminds me of that. Like he's kind of taking almost so much surrender as it is like neutrality.
Yeah.
He's also going to go and barter with them and try to negotiate with Aaron's, who's negotiating with the quote unquote terrorists.
Yeah.
But I feel like their inaction might give them some breath.
Okay.
And a way to observe the situation and take it in and come up with a better plan later.
Yeah.
As opposed to like trying to root everybody out and violently.
Going with that, do you think anything's going to happen at this restaurant?
Yeah, obviously. I don't know though, because most people don't know that Gabby and Falco are there, so it just depends who else is at the restaurant. I guess that dude's there, the cook.
Yeah.
Because he said he invited him there for a meal.
Would he know them? He's just some fucking cook.
No, I meant he.
Would he have
any ties to the Jaegerists?
Well, if he's in the military, I guess he was a cook in the military because he was on that ship.
Yeah, but the dude didn't know. Whatever, Yoko Ono, that's the chick that was involved with the fucking the Beatles.
On Yakapone.
Yeah,
You said
like Al Capone.
Almabino.
Yoko Ono.
Yeah, on Al Capone.
Yeah, Al Capone. That guy. He didn't seem like he knew what the fuck's going on. He was in the military.
Yeah.
And they did.
So I actually.
Well, according to Yelena.
Yeah.
She said that she didn't tell anybody else.
Yeah.
About the plan with Zeke and Aaron.
How do you feel about the captive Marlians, like the ones who are innocent?
Well, you consider where the Paradians are coming from.
Yeah.
It's like all this shit's going crazy and it's going on here. If at least you're here and we find out something else is going on, we know it can't be you.
Yeah.
Like maybe take it as a blessing.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're in some kind of little internment camp. I don't know what's going on.
He's out there playing cards. Like, yeah, it didn't seem as bad as those camps.
No.
It's weird because we jumped ahead and then like we already had kind of like all these railroads and things like that. But I kind of feel the weight of everything crumbling after 3 seasons of trying to build it. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, the pressure's on.
Yeah.
And a lot of things are happening very fast.
I just hope Levi does something badass soon.
It'd be cool to see. I'm hoping he gets that moment, kind of like the Hound and his brother, or even if he dies at some point, he gets that last moment with.
I don't want him to be fucking eaten or something like.
I don't want him to be eaten. I say I want him to.
Yeah.
If he dies, I want to still see him go out like the Hound went out.
Yeah.
He fucking kills his brother, and he just ends up dying in the process.
Yeah, I hope they know their fan base enough to know that fucking people love him. I mean, they gave Ervin like one of the greatest deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being eaten would not be a classy death for him.
No, it wouldn't be. Unless it's like he's like saying something motivational and he chooses to get eaten for some particular reason.
Yeah, it'd still be hard to watch.
Yep, couldn't watch it.
Big God fucking
You have to look away and then I wouldn't react to it. I'd talk about it after. I don't think I got anything else. Really, I mean, it's just a lot to take in.
Yeah, it's one.
Yeah. Guys, hey, I hope you liked the conversation and my reaction because I'm watching this fresh now. Haven't seen it. If you want to support us, just click that link and go to Patreon. You can also leave a tip if you want to.